Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to do a deep dive into some XRP price predictions. There's a ton of buzz around XRP right now, especially with Trump back in the White House and his whole pro-crypto agenda. We've got some fascinating news articles and market analyses to unpack, so let's jump right in.
Yeah, it's wild how much the SEC's silence on that Ripple appeal is adding to all the uncertainty. Remember back in August 2024 when Ripple had to pay that $125 million penalty for selling XRP to institutional investors? But what does this quiet period from the SEC really tell us? Is the SEC actually backing down?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? You'd think they might be. But then we have Better Markets. They're a pretty well-known investor protection group, right? They just filed an amicus brief that actually supports the SEC's appeal. They're arguing that Judge Torres' ruling was incorrect and saying that all XRP sales, it doesn't matter who they were to, should be considered investment contracts under the Howey test.
Right, and their argument basically boils down to this. XRP, whether it was sold directly by Ripple or traded on the open market, functioned as an investment contract. So they're saying it should be regulated as a security. The really interesting thing here is that Better Markets CEO Dennis Kelleher was on the Biden-Harris transition team. And yet here they are backing an appeal that aligns with Trump's pro-crypto
Yeah,
stance.
it really makes you wonder how much political agendas might be at play here. Speaking of Trump, though, he's been pretty vocal about his pro-crypto plans, right? He's already talking about things like setting up a strategic Bitcoin reserve and potentially pausing certain crypto enforcement cases, specifically the ones that don't involve any fraud.
Yeah, and he's even gone so far as to call for an end to the war on crypto. This could have huge implications for XRP, especially when you consider Judge Torres' ruling that Ripple's actions weren't actually fraudulent. It was considered a Tier 1 civil violation, but not actual fraud.
So with Trump back in office and the SEC being all quiet, could they actually withdraw the appeal? And if they did, what would that mean for XRP's price?
It's definitely possible. And if they do withdraw it, some analysts are predicting that XRP could actually climb past its all-time high of $3.55.
Wow, that would be a massive jump. But wait, there's more. We can't forget about the possibility of an XRP spot ETF. Just like what we saw with Bitcoin and Ethereum, some experts are saying that approval could come very soon.
True, but it's important to be realistic about expectations. An XRP ETF could definitely be a huge driver of growth, but there's always the chance the SEC could dig in their heels and continue the appeal. If that happens, XRP's price could actually drop below $2.50. It's a make-or-break moment for XRP, and the stakes are really high.
Talk about a wild ride. But let's shift gears for a minute and look at what the technical analysis is telling us about XRP's recent performance. One of the articles we looked at pointed out that XRP investors recently made over $500 million in profits.
Wow, that's quite a gain. What's driving that?
It seems like a lot of short-term holders decided to sell off after the CME clarified that they weren't actually going to launch XRP futures contracts. Kind of a jump-the-gun situation there. But there's some other signals emerging that paint a slightly different picture.
Oh, like what?
Well, the analysis mentions that XRP's open interest has stalled,
Hmm.
which could mean that traders are closing their positions.
Hmm.
And there's also a doji candlestick on the chart. And just for anyone who's not familiar with candlestick patterns, a doji can often signal indecision in the market, which could hint at a potential trend reversal.
Interesting. So we're seeing some signs of profit-taking and a possible trend reversal, but how strong are those signals really?
Yeah, and to add to that, the NCD and awesome oscillator histograms are both showing a weakening of bullish momentum. Basically, those are momentum indicators. And they're suggesting that the upward momentum XRP has been experiencing might be starting to lose steam.
Okay, I'm following you. So taking all of those technical indicators into account, what's the overall takeaway? What can we expect to see in the short term?
Well, the analysis suggests a potential downside of almost 20%,
Mm-hmm.
which could put XRP around $2.62. Not exactly what XRP bulls want to hear, but there is a glimmer of hope.
A glimmer of hope, you say. Tell me more.
If XRP manages to rally above the descending trendline resistance, that whole bearish scenario could be invalidated.
Hmm.
And who knows, maybe we'll see XRP skyrocketing again.
It's definitely a fascinating time to be watching XRP. The combination of legal battles, political shifts, and these technical indicators is creating quite a story.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And just when we thought we had a handle on things, we have some conflicting signals coming from exchange flows. Binance and Kraken are showing net outflows, which usually means people are buying, but then Coinbase and Bitstamp are seeing inflows, which typically suggests selling. So we have these mixed signals adding even more complexity. What are your thoughts on these conflicting messages?
I think it just goes to show how unpredictable the crypto market can be. These opposing signals make it even harder to predict what's next for XRP in the short term. It's a good reminder that we need to consider all angles before making any decisions.
Yeah, it really does feel like we're trying to solve a puzzle sometimes. Trying to put all these pieces together, the legal stuff, the political landscape, these market signals, and figure out where XRP might be headed. I guess that's what makes these deep dives so interesting, though, right?
Absolutely. And it's important to keep in mind that none of these things operate in a vacuum. They all affect each other. It's like this complex web of cause and effect. Like how the potential withdrawal of the SEC appeal could impact way more than just the price of XRP.
Right. We've been focusing so much on the price. But what about the bigger picture? What are some of the wider consequences we could see?
Well, if the SEC actually backs down, it could signal a real shift in their whole approach to regulating cryptocurrencies. It might mean they're becoming more open to innovation in the crypto space, and that could have a ripple effect across the entire industry.
Kind of like that saying, a rising tide lifts all boats,
Hmm.
right? If the regulatory environment becomes more favorable, it could lead to more institutional adoption, more investment, and ultimately more innovation in crypto as a whole.
Exactly. It could create a much more welcoming environment for all cryptocurrencies, not just XRP.
And then there's the potential for an XRP spot ETF. We touched on it earlier, but I'd love to dig a little deeper into how that could impact XRP beyond just those immediate price swings.
Yeah, so a spot ETF would make it so much easier for both institutional and retail investors to get exposure to XRP. That could lead to a huge influx of capital into the XRP market, which could obviously drive up the price.
Hmm.
But it's more than just that. It could also really boost XRP's legitimacy and mainstream acceptance.
Almost like a seal of approval from regulators, right?
Yeah,
If an XRP ETF gets approved, it would send a strong signal that XRP is a credible and investable asset.
exactly.
Okay.
It would remove some of that perceived risk and uncertainty around XRP, making it more attractive to a wider range of investors.
So it's not just about the price, it's about perception, accessibility, and building more confidence in XRP.
Got it. And that increased confidence could lead to more people actually using XRP for its intended purpose, facilitating cross-border payments.
It's easy to forget that part sometimes. We get so caught up in the market frenzy that we forget about the underlying technology and its real-world applications.
It's true. And XRP has already proven itself to be a really fast, efficient, and cost-effective solution for cross-border payments. If it gains wider acceptance, it could revolutionize the way we move money around the world.
It's exciting to imagine the possibilities. But as always, we need to look at both sides of the coin. What if things don't go XRP's way? What if the SEC doubles down on their appeal? Or an XRP ETF gets rejected?
That's where things could get tricky for XRP. If the SEC wins their appeal, it could set a precedent that impacts the entire crypto industry. We might see increased regulation, stricter enforcement, and maybe even a chilling effect on investment in the space.
Almost like a domino effect, right? One decision could trigger a whole chain reaction with consequences that reach far and wide.
Right.
What about XRP's price, specifically in a scenario where the SEC wins the appeal?
Well, some analysts are saying XRP could drop below $2.50, maybe even lower. If the SEC gets a decisive victory, it could really hurt investor confidence, leading to a sell-off and a decline in XRP's price.
That's not great. So the SEC appeal is a huge factor. And then there's the whole XRP spot ETF situation.
Yeah.
We've talked about what could happen if it gets approved, but what if it gets rejected? What kind of message would that send to the market?
An ETF rejection would be a pretty clear sign that XRP is still facing some serious regulatory obstacles. It could make investors think twice, especially those who are waiting for a more regulated and accessible way to invest in XRP. It could lead to a drop in demand and probably a decrease in price.
It feels like regulatory uncertainty is a constant in the crypto world. Even with someone like Trump back in office, someone who's supposedly pro-crypto, there's no guarantee that things will go smoothly for XRP.
Exactly. And then you have the inherent volatility of the crypto market. Even if XRP manages to clear all the regulatory hurdles, a sudden market downturn could erase any gains. Crypto prices can be influenced by so many things: macroeconomic trends, global events, even social media sentiment. It's a wild ride.
Definitely not for the faint of heart. So we've got the legal battle, the regulatory hurdles, and then this constant market volatility. It's like navigating a minefield out there.
You could say that, but that's part of what makes crypto so exciting. It's high risk, high reward, and it definitely keeps you on your toes.
I've learned so much from this deep dive. We've covered so much ground, the potential ups and downs, the legal battles, the political landscape, and those psychological factors that drive the crypto market. So where do we go from here? What's the big takeaway for our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is that XRP is at a crucial point right now. There's huge potential for growth, especially with Trump's pro-crypto stance and the possibility of an ETF. But there are also big risks out there, mainly the SEC appeal and that unpredictable nature of the crypto market.
So the million-dollar question, should our listeners be bullish or bearish on XRP?
That's the thing. There's no right answer. It all comes down to individual research, weighing the potential rewards against the risks, and making a decision that aligns with your own investment goals and risk tolerance.
Very well said. This deep dive has been such a wild ride, full of insights and potential scenarios. But in the end, the decision rests with each individual investor.
I agree. It's their journey, their risk, their reward.
And that's what makes the crypto world so fascinating. It's decentralized, it's dynamic, and it puts the power in the hands of the individual.
It's been a pleasure breaking down the complexities of XRP with you today.
And to our listeners, stay curious, stay informed, and never stop learning. The world of crypto is constantly changing, and we're all on this journey together. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the potential upsides for XRP, but we got to be real here. The crypto market, it's kind of like a roller coaster, right? Full of twists and turns and, yeah, sometimes those unexpected drops. So let's flip the script for a minute. Let's talk about the potential downsides. What could throw a wrench in the works for XRP?
Well, that SEC appeal is still a big one. If the SEC wins, it could set a precedent that impacts the whole crypto industry, not just XRP. We could see way more regulation, stricter enforcement, maybe even a chilling effect on investment.
Yeah, like a domino effect.
Yeah.
One decision could trigger a whole chain reaction with some pretty major consequences. And what about XRP's price? What happens to that if the SEC wins?
Some analysts are saying it could fall below $2.50, maybe even lower. A big win for the SEC could really shake investor confidence, and that could lead to a sell-off and a drop in price.
Oof, that's not good. So the SEC appeal is definitely a huge question mark. And then there's the whole XRP spot ETF thing. We talked about what could happen if it gets approved. But what if it gets rejected? What kind of message would that send?
A rejection would be a pretty clear sign that XRP is still facing an uphill battle when it comes to regulation. It would make some investors hesitant for sure, especially those who were waiting for a more regulated, easier way to invest in XRP. Could lead to a drop in demand and probably a lower price.
It feels like this regulatory uncertainty just hangs over the whole crypto world. Even with Trump back in office, and he's supposed to be pro-crypto, right?
Yeah.
There's no guarantee things will go XRP's way.
Nope, not at all. And then you've got the inherent volatility of the crypto market itself. Even if XRP gets past all the regulatory stuff, a sudden market downturn could wipe out any gains. Crypto prices can be influenced by so many things: macroeconomic trends, global events, heck, even just what people are saying on social media. It's a wild ride.
Tell me about it. Not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. So we've got the legal battle, the regulatory hurdles, and then this constant market volatility. It's like trying to walk through a minefield sometimes.
It kind of is, but that's also part of what makes crypto so exciting. High risk, high reward. Definitely keeps you on your toes.
This deep dive has been so eye-opening. We've explored all the angles,
Yeah.
the potential highs and lows, the legal stuff, the political landscape, the psychology of the market. So where does that leave us? What's the bottom line for our listeners?
I think the main takeaway here is that XRP is at a crossroads. There's huge potential for growth, don't get me wrong, especially with Trump being pro-crypto and the possibility of an ETF. But there are also some serious risks, that SEC appeal being the biggest one, and then just the overall unpredictable nature of the crypto market.
So the million-dollar question, should our listeners be bullish or bearish on XRP?
That's the thing, there's no easy answer. Everyone needs to do their own research, weigh the potential rewards against the risks, and then make a decision that feels right for them based on their own goals and risk tolerance.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This has been a wild ride. So many insights, so many potential scenarios. But ultimately, the decision is up to each individual investor. It's their journey, their risk, their reward.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about the crypto world. It's decentralized, it's dynamic, and it puts the power back in the hands of the individual.
It's been awesome exploring the world of XRP with you today. And to our listeners, stay curious, stay informed, and never stop learning. The crypto world is constantly evolving, and we're all in this together. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into XRP.
From the streets to the charts, we're making a change. Stacking knowledge, stacking that dope. Whatever rule we follow, watch our profits grow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the bullish gains, baby. Wealthy brains in the mix. Can't tell me nothing about stacking those bricks. Traders on the rise, yeah, we know the game. Got the strategy locked, heavy tame. Rule 1, set your plan, make it tight. Define your entries, know your exit in sight. Stick to the script, don't stray from the path. Keep your emotions in check, avoid the wrath. Tool tech on deck, charts and trends. Support and resistance, let the knowledge blend. Moving averages smooth, oscillators align. Trade with precision, you'll be just fine. 3 minutes, your risk, keep it low-key. Movie, only risk a fraction. That's the key. Stop loss ready, protect your stake. Guard your capital blonde, don't let it break. Full patience is a virtue and wait for the sign. Don't chase after moves that ain't worth your time. Stay disciplined, let the market flow. Stick to your rules, that's how you grow. 5, stay on your grind, keep an eye on the news line. Market conditions shifting, you gotta choose. Economics incentive out sit. Keep your mind sharp, read between the lines, stand, that's what an art. 6 risks to reward, make it worthwhile. For every dollar risk, aim for a smile. 2 for everyone, keep that goal in sight. They, when you play it smart, then you'll shine so bright. 7, learn from the past, tame, take the lessons to heart. Then review your trades. 5, that's where you start. Keep a journal, cool, write down the gains. Man, master your craft, break those chains. Follow these rules, let your profits reign. With bullish gains and wealthy brains, we're in the trading game, shining through the pain. Building our empire, take, making our name.